magic woman. Hey, welcome back. And who's with me is Paul Campanone, psychic. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
It's nice to see you. Let's get you set up here. And who's that on the phone, Paul? Caller, we're going to talk to Paul right now, okay? Thanks. Okay. Now, Paul, I came across you because I came across one of your
Yeah, I hit a lucky car. I hit your car.
Your advertisements here, tarot readings, and you and I talked a little bit on the phone. And I gave you just some basic information about myself, like birth date.
Yeah, your cards are interesting. You got the High Priestess card, which means that you're an intuitive person, and your personality card is, let me think about it here, is the Devil, which represents a sense of humor. I don't know if you have a sense of humor or not. From what I've seen, you
the viewers don't know either. So it's okay.
Definitely.
I know.
And
so however we want to do things in order, but I want to talk a little bit about what you're all about too.
I read cards for people. I'm also an astrologer. I do charts for people. I do counseling. I have no formal education, but I'm working on that. You know, it'll take a few years. I want to study psychology.
You said you want to go for your doctorate too.
Oh yeah, that'll
eventually. That you wanted to really just go headstrong in the
long
profession.
run. Yeah.
And what, would you call yourself a psychic, or you call yourself just intuitive, or?
Intuitive is a word that I use to describe myself. Psychic is a term that's familiar to a lot of people. There's a lot of types of psychics, like occults. In general, occult means hidden knowledge, and psychics, like channelers is a type of psychic which deals with energy and spirits, people that are not in their bodies. If you believe in that,
out-of-body experiences.
Well, that's a type of occult phenomenon. That's there are people who deal with that too, and there are psychics who work for the police department who touch objects and get the energies off the objects, and they read into it, and they can kind of visionate and see what happened around that object surrounding.
No, before you start, I just want to ask you, what's your strangest kind of experience where you knew something, you led them to a dead body? What'd you do?
No, I don't have those kinds of experiences too.
What was the first experience that you said, there's something strange going on with me, that I have this kind of intuitive nature?
Well, it's always been that way. People have always said, well, he's gifted, and people have always come to me for advice. I've always related to adults much more than people my own age. And when I was younger, I could see color and aura, if you will, around people. And I could guess things, and they would come out right, like what we're having for dinner,
right.
That sort of thing. Nothing really
phenomenal. Well, let's move on here and just see what's going on.
All right. I'll read your cards and I'll do a spread.
Okay. Paul's going to read my cards, caller. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, that's great.
Want to stay with me because I don't want to be alone during this?
Okay, I'll stay with you.
Who am I talking to?
Michelle.
Allison?
No, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle. And stay with me, okay, because I'm really scared.
Okay.
How old are you, Michelle?
24.
Jackpot.
You're 27. Your 28th birthday, according to your birth date, your card changes to the Hangman, which represents a tough time in somebody's life, and it's the end of a 10-year cycle. So if you find that there's a lot more challenges coming to you next year, especially in the way of relationships, it's because of a 10-year cycle. But it shouldn't get too bad because it begins again the year after, and it should be pretty good. You'll be getting another 10-year cycle after that, which will be kind of negative, though. So, because midlife is coming up pretty soon.
Midlife for me?
Yeah. Well, it'll be a few years, but 10 years is a block that I'm speaking with.
So your 40s look pretty horrible.
Your 40s.
Really bad? All I want to know is, am I going to hit a guardrail on the way home? Just give it to me straight.
No, I don't tell those kind of fortunes. Actually,
Okay.
what I do is I accentuate the positive as much as possible.
Great, you got the grocery clerk. That's a really good card.
Where is that? Hey! Prince of Wands.
Michelle, they giving you a hard time?
This represents
They're giving me a hard time.
a balance between not seeing maybe all of your different personalities, because you probably, you realize that everybody has a face. We talk differently to different people, we talk differently to our parents than we do to, say, someone we're closer to or our peers, we don't speak the same way. And seeing yourself as a whole is a very important thing to you as far as your spiritual advancement, as far as being happy and being fulfilled. Inspiration is something that might be lacking, but it will be coming up by the end of this 10-year cycle for you in the way of creativity. Queen of Wands represents, well, you know yourself pretty well. Obviously, to be in this kind of profession, you have to know who you are. As I can predict, nearest I can predict, is to be careful with who you meet.
I
within
can't
the
trust
next
others around
year.
me, can I? They're all my enemies.
You can trust to a certain point, but do be careful and be on the lookout of wasting your time and your energy on people and relationships in general within the next year. That's the reading I'm getting from the equation I did, the numerology equation with your birth date and this reading right here, and a balance between knowing yourself and seeing all of yourself together and all the different parts of yourself.
Out of all these cards, which one is the one that I probably shouldn't have?
Oh, no, you should have them all. The tower represents what crowns you. You have a good regenerative instinct. You know, if the going gets tough for you, you tend to be really creative and come up with something really quickly, which is an asset that you can constantly think. If you get bummed out, you know, think of something to do, creative,
Right.
you know.
Okay, now I'm now.
To
So I ask you one more
avoid depression and
quick
negativity.
question here. Is there anything significant about being born on the cusp? Since I was born on May 21st.
I looked at that a little bit. You're kind of half Taurus, half Gemini, and I think you're more Gemini than Taurus because Gemini deals with communication between people. It's the twins. It's seeing yourself, kind of, you know, your inner self. You know, looking into the mirror and saying, well, this is who I am. What can I do with it creatively? You know, and being on TV has a lot to do with Gemini because it's communication. It's the mind.
Right.
You know.
Well, Paul, I want to tell the viewers that if they want to get in touch with you, your number is 863-0286, and Paul does readings on relationships, marriage, careers, reincarnation, dreams, and predictions, and also cards. And would you come back on the show when we have a larger segment, and we can do a lot more because
I
it's
can do a lot
fascinating
more.
to talk with you.
I can do your chart.
wanna
I can-
ask-
Okay. And Michelle, do you have one quick thing you want to say?
Well, I just wanted to ask if he could tell me how my marriage is going to be. I'm getting married in July.
Oh, Michelle, basically the night before your marriage, I can't tell you anymore. It's going to be horrible. But listen, don't go to bed with him. Okay. So that's basically all we have for Michelle. And we're right now going to go to his
accurate.
secret. This is blood curdling. Watch this. Thanks a lot, Paul.